As taught to separate actively. To mention your class, this life we all learn like academy. I'm trying to shine in the darkness. I had to find where my heart is. What is going on, Kingdom? So today I am back, and I'm back speaking again another message. Now listen, it has been a while since your boys put out a message, and I've actually been trying to record this one a couple of different times, but I've been struggling because I've been moving a little bit too quick. I haven't preached in a while or spoken, whatever. So listen, we all, have our problems, and that's me being transparent to you and addressing the thing that I have a lot of problems with speaking. Sometimes I end up, getting caught up in just interrupting myself. I have issues and problems with speaking and speaking from my heart on the things that I want to talk about and bring out. I have a lot of problems with that, and that's going to be starting and addressing into the topic that I'm going to be talking about today, which is acknowledgement. Acknowledging the problems, acknowledging the issues, and not acting like those things don't exist, right? But first things first, I just want to talk about real quick. You see the sweater? This is the YoungGT sweater. I don't know if you see the name there, but it's pretty crispy. It's not like some merchandise I'm going to be selling. It's mainly just my hoodie right now. Also, I've been working heavily on the music. I have a Spotify now, so I'm hoping anybody that may be coming to this video, go and check out the Spotify. I got the music out there, you know what I'm saying? I've been working very, very hard on music, so I haven't been making messages as often. But today, I'm going to be speaking another message. It's time for me to be back, and it's time for me to make this change. It's time for me to put this out there. Acknowledgement is going to be the topic that I'm talking about today. If I mess up, if anybody messes up, we have to be able to acknowledge what leads us to becoming upset, what leads us to having problems with people, what leads us. Acknowledgement, right? I'm leading into acknowledgement right now. So listen, acknowledgement. Now, I'm going to be applying acknowledgement to a couple of different topics that I believe are going on into society as to how we can almost stop a lot of these problems and things that are influences from the devil. So the first thing I want to talk about, or not the first thing, but one of the things I'm going to be talking about is conflict, right? Conflict between people, beefs, issues, just stuff going on with that, issues within family, also within our emotions and racism. We have to be able to talk about some of these real topics so that we can make a change and make a difference in them, because the devil is working in society. He's working through things like racism. He's working through things like conflict and problems and issues. The devil is trying to create these influences onto society, and sometimes, we as the children of God have to work to actually say, this is how we're going to do this. This is the game plan. So listen, acknowledgement is something that we avoid often, right? And I'm going to use this example here, right? So imagine you have two people in a room together, right? You have two people. It could be family member, it could be friends, it could be whatever. You have two people in a room together, right? It could be anybody, right? Say you go and you have beef. You have problems with this person that you are in this room with, right? But you're not expressing that. You're not bringing that out. The both of you are just kind of looking, got smiles on your faces, acting like everything is cool. But there's really a lot of underlying issues that two of you have with each other. It's going to come to a point in time where if you continue to bring further these conversations and you continue to allow for you to have these happy conversations with that same person over and over and over again, it's going to come to a point in time where both of you are going to be self-reflecting on yourselves enough, because you're going to be spending time with each other. You're constantly going to be remembering and understanding, hey, I have problems with that person over there. There's these issues going on that we haven't addressed, but we're acting like we're happy. And eventually what's going to happen is those problems, those issues are going to be brought out. You can't fake things. You can't fake stuff. You get what I'm saying? You can, but it's not going to lead into the best result. And that's something that I feel like we do within society. A lot of the times we go into society, with smiles on our faces, acting like there is no issues going on within our lives, whether we're facing depression or anxiety, because we feel like, a lot of people don't even like to hear about our issues, don't even like to see the frowns that are on our faces. So we put a smile on in society because we don't want to be looked at wrong. We don't want to be looked at a certain way. I understand that perspective because I do it often as well. Keeping it real here, transparent, right? Or let's start to get real. Let's start to get real here. Right? We're going to be talking a little bit about the topic of racism, right? Things that are going on. I feel like we're in a position in time in society where we're seeing a lot of stuff, advertised or brought out in companies, things where it's like it's promoting diversity, right? And it's promoting, people of different races getting and working together, right? This is good. This is important. That is something that, of course, as we work to do, right? We as the body of Christ, we work to bring people together, bring people into unity, right? But here's the thing that I don't think is a good thing about the way that we all approach these kinds of this kind of thing, where we just work towards bringing people together without understanding the problems that have gone on within society, bringing white people, black people together. That is important. But I just think that it's also a very important level where we have to understand, hey, it's important to address what's happened in society, not just within the past, but what's happening right now. There is a lot of oppression going on within the black community and an influence going on within the black community where it's working to tear black people down. You see the music that's being brought out by popular black artists. Other, very, very inspirational and incredible black people aren't brought out into the media, whether it could be black astronauts, black librarians, black scientists, stuff like this, right? We'll see, let's be honest here, we'll see white people coming from that end and coming from that perspective of doing that, and they'll be popular, and they'll be out here on social media being promoted, being popular, being brought out. But we do not see that often within the black community, not because it's like black people aren't doing that, but because there's a thing within the media where they're working to twist it to make it look like that's all that really black people can do is what's in the media. These other things, with diverse different jobs and diverse different career paths are not very, very much brought out in social media towards the black community. You know what I'm saying? And it can be towards everybody else, but specifically people want to tear down the black community and putting them in a box. Let's be real here. Let's be honest. Putting them in a box. You get what I'm saying? Of you have to do this. You have to talk about things that are sinful, because we see a lot of these popular black creators a lot of the time that really bring out and promote sin. I'm just being real and I'm just being honest here. Where you see where you come from, honestly, and what you see where a lot of people, black people, come from within their community is where a lot of violence happens, is where a lot of things like drugs are promoted. This happens. This is what's going on, and this is the oppression that's happening on the black community. I'm just keeping it real here. We're keeping it honest. So when we like to go in society and treat it like, oh, well, now all of a sudden we're just going to act like black people and white people are the same. We're going to put them in the same predicament, same place, same. When you do that, it's important, but racism is still going to exist around, and it's still going to be brought out, and it's still going to be there because the problem hasn't been addressed. It's been like almost diluted. We can say things, and I'm only talking about the terms when I say this. We can say certain things like all lives matter, all lives matter, right? And that is true. But when we sit here and we say all lives matter, I feel like that's wrong, because we decide to put it into a perspective where we don't first address Black Lives Matter, because we don't sit there and say, okay, well, what is it in society going on that's made Black lives feel like they don't matter? We don't talk about that. Instead, we just try to say, oh, well, we're going to push that to the side. All lives matter out of nowhere. You can't do that. When there's problems and issues going on between people, between families, between whoever within society, if you don't address the issues and problems going on, they're going to come back and they're going to continue to exist. And there's going to be things like that going on when you sit here with anything. If you have a problem with a family member and you sit here and you don't keep it real with them when there's issues, if you don't talk about the problems and issues going on, and instead you decide to just, shake them away and act like, I don't have no problem with that family member, we're just going to keep walking like nothing happened. Eventually the problems are going to come back again, and you're going to keep going in a constant loop, an endless loop. We have to address the problems before we can have a real solution happen. We have to address the problems before we can have a real solution happen. So I'm talking about acknowledgement today to say, hey, listen, acknowledgement is important. We have to acknowledge what's going on, the past, the present, of course, whatever issues could be going on in the present now. We have to be able to talk about and speak about and address and acknowledge before the solution can just happen. There could be a problem and then we can act like there's a solution, but if there is no true solution to the problem that was happening, ain't nothing gonna change. And anyways, that's all I really have to say about this topic here. I appreciate you for watching. This is pretty much a straightforward message here that I just wanted to preach and speak out today. So, I thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Like I said, I'm a little out of my element with the preaching stuff. It's been a little minute. It has, but I'm getting back into it the best that I can. I thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. God bless you. Have an amazing morning, evening, and night. Thank you. Yeah, again, God bless you.